So how exactly does a geopolitical movement fight a conflict that spans, well, 9 whole decades? It's a pretty massive question, right? We're looking at a regional dispute that, according to the sources, kicked off way back in 1925. But, this isn't just some dusty historical footnote. Today, right now, this conflict is actively being fought across battlefields you might not expect: demographic, legal, and highly political arenas.
Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to completely unpack the historical, legal, and political claims of the Ahwazi movement. Now, just to be totally clear up front, everything we're diving into today is drawn directly from regional documents and the movement's own official statements. We're keeping it strictly objective here, just breaking down the anatomy of their claims and looking at what they are actually trying to achieve.
To make sense of all this, we'll follow a quick roadmap. 1. Demographic claims. 2. The Abtahi document. 3. Identity and language. 4. Legal strategy. And finally, 5. Their political stance. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Demographic claims. The allegations of population engineering. So the core grievance of the Ahwazi movement traces all the way back to the early 20th century, and it really centers on one massive allegation: a deliberate, long-standing policy of demographic engineering.
According to the provided texts, the movement maps out a few major historical milestones. They point to 1925 as the beginning of the alleged occupation. Then, fast forward to 2005, and a pivotal moment occurs when a highly controversial government document is allegedly leaked. And jumping ahead to 2013, we see the foundation of the Arab Court of Human Rights, which, as you'll see later, becomes a huge weapon in their modern legal arsenal.
10 million. That is the sheer scale we're talking about here. The sources cite a regional Arab population of roughly 10 million people. The movement asserts that consecutive Iranian administrations have spent decades actively trying to turn this massive block of people into a minority within their very own region.
To kind of visualize how this is supposedly happening, the sources detail some incredibly large-scale settlement projects. We're talking about settling 1,500 nomadic families backed by a staggering 100 billion rial relocation budget. They also allege the confiscation of agricultural lands and, perhaps most shockingly, an ambitious plan to settle up to 5 million non-Arabs right along the Gulf Coast. Activists argue this is calculated population replacement, pure and simple.
Section 2. The Abtahi document. Evidence cited by the movement. Now, the activists don't just speak in vague generalities. They point to a very specific piece of evidence to back this all up. It's a 2005 memo, reportedly leaked directly from the office of a former Iranian president.
What this leaked document allegedly contained is frankly staggering. The texts claim the memo outlined a highly specific and drastically ambitious target: to reduce the Arab population in the region to just 1/3 of the total population. And get this, to do it in just 10 years. Just think about the sheer logistical scale of attempting something like that.
So how exactly do you reach that 1/3 goal? Well, the document allegedly ordered an influx of other ethnicities, like Azeris, into the region. At the same time, it directed authorities to push educated Arab youth out to central provinces like Tehran, intentionally creating a brain drain. And finally, it purportedly ordered the literal erasure of Arabic names from villages and street signs. It's like trying to rewrite the map itself.
Section 3. Identity and language. Cultural marginalization. Beyond moving physical populations around, the sources highlight allegations of severe cultural suppression, forming this broader narrative of identity marginalization.
Just take a look at this quote. This is from an international solidarity statement cited heavily in the provided texts, and it strongly condemns the ban on teaching the Arabic language. Notice the phrasing here. They don't frame this as just some simple administrative policy. They call it a continuous crime and a direct attack on their mother tongue and, by extension, their entire national identity.
I mean, imagine your mother tongue being banned in your local schools. Activists elevate this from a cultural slight to a full-blown legal issue. They argue that banning Arabic in official institutions literally violates international law, specifically citing the UN Charter and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
Section 4. Legal strategy. The Arab Court of Human Rights.
So what does a movement actually do in response to alleged abuses of this scale? Well, they don't just protest in the streets. According to the texts, they are executing a highly strategic legal pivot.
Ahwazi researchers propose a very clear two-step legal framework. Step 1. Campaign to obtain official observer status at the Arab League.
Step 2, utilize the Arab Court of Human Rights to formally sue over these alleged demographic engineering policies. They are purposefully dragging their cause out of a domestic dispute and right onto the international legal stage.
Section 5. Political stance. The demand for total independence. Finally, we arrive at the ultimate objective. The movement is incredibly clear about what they want, and they make a huge effort to separate themselves from other groups opposing the Iranian government.
This is absolutely crucial to understand. Notice the stark difference in objectives here. Traditional Iranian opposition groups generally want regime change, removing the current government but keeping Iran's borders totally intact. The Ahwazi movement, on the other hand, wants total independence and sovereignty. For them, simply replacing the current government in Tehran isn't going to cut it. It won't end what they view as an illegal occupation.
They view their struggle purely as national liberation. In fact, official statements warn that tying the Ahwazi cause to internal Iranian politics is a dangerous distortion. They argue that engaging in power struggles over who rules in Tehran only maintains foreign dominance over their territory. To put it simply, they are fighting for a completely new nation, not just a new Iranian government.
So we conclude this explainer by zooming out. The sources outline a movement fighting on demographic, legal, and political fronts for total independence. So I'll leave you with this to consider. If these international legal strategies actually succeed and a path to independence is pursued, how might the creation of a new sovereign state in this highly specific, incredibly resource-rich area fundamentally alter the geopolitical map? What happens to the energy security of the entire Middle East? It's a massive puzzle, and understanding the anatomy of these claims is just the first step to finding an answer. Thanks for learning with us today.